got to do, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose you do. All right. And we are back. It is the Brass Tacks Podcast, episode 25. We are your hosts, Rick and Adam. I am Rick.
Dude.
That is Adam. And it is a good day. We were just talking about how Adam's a murderer now. He killed a deer with his truck.
It's true. I hit it.
I still can't believe it died at 15 miles per hour. Is that you say that was your speed?
Huh? Broke his neck. He put his neck right down on the grill area.
Area?
The truck. Area of the truck, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty tough, dude. What'd you do with it afterwards, though?
What do you mean what I did with it?
Did you, take it home? Did you just leave it there?
No, it was taken care of.
What do you mean it was taken care of?
That's it.
That could mean a whole bunch of shit. What?
It was harvested.
Oh, like you took it to an actual place?
No.
You did it yourself?
No.
You just left it there and animals ate it, didn't you?
No.
That's what happened.
No.
Well, quit being coy about it.
Oh, no, whatever. Yeah, if someone pick it up and they,
And they what?
they skin it out and stuff.
Oh, so you just there's a service you can call for that?
No, it was like a neighbor.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's cool then. At least it's being put to use.
Whatever.
Are you going to get to eat some of it?
I don't know. I don't care.
You gonna make some moccasins? You can replace those fucking old man toupee shoes you got
I just got those like a week ago. They're nice.
Adam has these moccasins, and he showed me him wearing them the other day, and it almost looks as if the insides were stuffed with, gray old toupees, and they just kind of stick out.
Not gray, like white toupees.
Well, all right, yeah. It looks like dandelion hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. So I decided I'm just, I'm not going to masturbate in mornings before the show. And I'm going to tell you why. I think there's a lot of testosterone I could utilize if I just contain myself, because it's kind of part of a morning ritual. You know what I mean? You get everything out, you take your duties, and then, generally I like to release
get the poison out, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You've been sleeping all night. You got to get rid of it.
Exactly. So that's part of the morning routine, but I find that on days that I don't, I have more energy and I'm a little bit more engaged in my daily routine.
I don't know if I notice a difference.
Really?
Really?
When I first started to notice a difference was when I was training super hard and doing flips and stuff like that. Skylar and I used to work at this gym, and we taught this a martial arts tricking class, which is basically just kicks and flips and twists and shit. But on days that I would masturbate and go into work, I noticed that my movement wasn't as fluid. Everything was forced rather than being very I guess fluid's the only way to it's the only way to describe it.
Now, a martial arts tricking class or school, you said. I feel like that is a school or a
Be careful
lesson where you just you trick out children in martial arts.
Oh, pimp them?
Yeah.
Oh no, we weren't doing all that.
You weren't making them tricks.
No, we weren't
making them turn tricks or whatever.
We weren't grooming our students.
All right, well, get a better label then.
The sport really does. It's been called tricking since I've known about it, but yeah, definitely not the best name, I would say. My dad used to make fun of me all the time for it. He'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna go out tricking? What's his name?" and shit like that.
See?
Man, fuck you, dude.
There you go. That's what you get.
I am a serious athlete.
Fine, but think of a better name.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been realizing recently, there's certain aspects of growing up where you hit these little moments in your adulthood and you look back and you're like, shit, dude, I really kind of understand where a parent was coming from in certain areas.
Sure.
It's that. I think you were on the phone with me the other day, but this lady came in the store. It was she's a single mom. She comes in all the time, but she always brings her kid with her, and he's like a toddler. I think he's maybe 3 or 4, but we have suckers that everybody can take on the counter there. And we also have some candy canes left over from Christmas time and all that shit. So the kid, he's up on the counter, the mom's paying for her shit, and he's like, "Hey, can I have a sucker?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude," to give him a sucker. And he looks back and he goes for a candy cane, and the mom's like, "Ah, one or the other," putting her foot down, trying to do some kind of power move on this kid so he understands boundaries. And the kid immediately fucking lets out this shrill, high-pitched whine, just the kind that makes you curdle, and you just kind of cringe a little bit. And then immediately in my head, I'm like, shut the fuck up, you little rhymes with Saget. And then in that moment...
Bob Saget?
Yeah, a word that rhymes with that last name. But I immediately was just like taken back for a second. I was like, oh my God, I get where my dad was coming from all these years. And it's weird how you kind of start drawing these little congruencies.
Well, he wasn't wrong. What are you going to do?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm trying to correct myself. Oh, shit. But guess what?
Huh?
Guess what?
What?
I got some bad news.
Well, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Okay, give me the bad news.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
This whole thing fucking sucks. I mean, this is the biggest pile of shit.
All right. Alrighty. White supremacist Dylan Roof is appealing his death penalty. This guy, he is, as you said before, didn't you say he kind of looked like he had Down syndrome a little bit?
Well, he looks affected.
Yeah. Say. Well, the first thing, all right, so if you guys remember correctly, Dylan Roof, I believe he chose to represent himself or defend himself or whatever. But anyway, he was sentenced to death and all this shit. But now he is trying to appeal the judge's decision because he said in this article here, let me see if I can find it real quick. He said that he believed at the time that his sentence didn't really matter because white nationalists would free him from the prison.
Oh, they would break him out.
Held. Yeah,
they were going to break him out.
Right, because there was an impending race war.
Right.
So that's why he chose to defend himself. And
miscalculation.
Just
wow.
Slightly. But when you
what an idiot.
When you look at this guy, look at his haircut. The first thing I saw, or the first thing I thought,
strong bowl cut there.
And you have to ask yourself this question:
yeah.
I've never been to prison. Do they allow you to choose your own haircuts, or because I know they're not going to give him anything sharp enough?
They don't let you have haircuts in prison?
Well, I'm just saying, like,
or not haircuts. What if you want to grow your hair out?
Well, what I'm saying is, like, yeah, I'm sure you can grow your hair out if you want to, but if you do choose to get it cut, it's prison. Are you allowed to just sit down and like? You're allowed to sit down and just be like, oh, I'll take the penis bowl cut.
Oh, who knows, dude?
Because think, like, you got fucking Aryan dudes that are shaving their heads all the time. They're getting shit from somewhere. But I doubt they would give this kid anything sharp enough to be able to, like, cut his hair on his own. It's a mystery.
No, well, he ain't cutting his own hair, but it looks like he cuts his own hair, basically.
I just don't understand, like, don't you want to be imposing? Like, isn't his whole thing is, like, he's trying to stir some shit up and, like...
I don't know what his intentions are. I don't really give a fuck. Like, whatever, dude.
They need to hurry up and get this over with. And, yeah, this whole thing happened in Charleston.
Why don't they just put him to like, death sentence or something or whatever?
Well, the judge already sentenced him to death, but now he's appealing it, so now it's just going to drag out again. And, of course, like, the media is all over it again. And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, there's no reason to keep this dude alive. I don't understand why we're wasting the resources. It's, at the end of the day, we all know he did what he did. We all know that he's guilty. We all know that this went down. You know what I mean? Like, why are we wasting any more time? It doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, that happened in my home state of South Kakalaki in Charleston there. I went to school like a mile away from that church. Over there at the fucking now defunct Art Institute of Charleston, dude. That place was a farce. They put Daddy in a little bit of debt. But anyway, we'll see. I don't know. Obviously, I'm sure we can all call it now. Nothing is going to change. I think this kid is still destined for the whatever they do. I'm guessing
Most
they're probably
likely.
going to inject him. That seems to be where everybody's...
I don't know how they're going to do it.
Well, maybe you should call up and ask.
What do I care?
What's wrong with the electric chair we got?
It shocks pretty good.
Oh, shit.
Green Mile.
In other news, 11 arrested in recycling redemption scheme of smuggling cans and bottles into California. This one I thought was really fucking funny.
It's a classic move.
I didn't even know this existed until I saw this fucking this article. So in San Francisco, they arrested 11 suspects, and they're saying they ran a multi-state recycling operation that smuggled empty cans and bottles into California in a scheme that cost the state's recycling fund more than $2 million.
Whoa, it was like a legit racket.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, I know. Like when I first saw 11 suspects and then I saw what the shit was, I was like, okay, this can't be.
There's a Seinfeld episode all about this.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Shh.
What, you want me to hit it?
Yes, because in New York, there's a 5-cent deposit.
All right.
Michigan, 10 cents.
Yeah, it says right here between 5 and 10 cents.
Well, California is a different case. Their deposit fluctuates.
What?
They don't have a static one. That's why you see on the cans, it'll say fucking CA. It doesn't say I think it says like New York 5, Michigan 10.
Oh, yeah. There's a breakdown.
But California is it changes all the time, I guess.
That's so weird. That's actually that's something I wondered about, because when I receive orders at the store and shit like that, prices for different alcohol products and shit like that, it fluctuates throughout the season, and I have no idea why that is. So, I mean, do you have any insight on that? Like, why the fuck would it be different in California than any other state?
What would be different?
The recycling shit. Like, why does the rate at which you can recycle
because things? That's what the state decided to do.
I think it's a snow job.
It's probably, dude. But there was a whole Seinfeld episode about this. They were Newman in his mail truck was gonna run a bunch of cans to fucking Michigan because you can get 10 cents versus 5 cents, and they had this whole profit calculation. Like, we can do it.
Fucking Newman.
If you watch Seinfeld, you know what I'm saying. If you're Rick, you
shut up. I can't be bothered with all that. I watch it.
Rick the millennial doesn't know Seinfeld.
Okay, that's about enough.
Yep,
I don't think that's true at all. I man, whenever I was watching Seinfeld and shit like that, I was so little, there's no way I'm going to remember all that crap.
You realize you can still watch it today.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like you and The Wire. You're not going back and going out of your way to watch shit you really don't feel
that's
like
fair.
watching.
Yep, I can't argue with you there.
Well, I appreciate it.
But, it's Seinfeld, so.
But yeah, that's I thought that was pretty funny.
Dude,
how do you even pick up on something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess if they were doing it on the scale that they were doing it, the state's going to realize that they're spending X amount of...
It's a pretty large scale move there, dude.
Yeah. Ballsy, though, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, this was some bullshit. So Michigan medical marijuana seller gets prison because federal law has not changed, or so says his judge. And right below the headline here, it says, activists gather to protest the sentencing of Danny Trevino. It's literally 3 people standing out front of the courthouse.
Oh, it's literally 3 people, yeah.
That's an embarrassing turnout.
I mean, it's better than none.
But yeah, Grand Rapids, Michigan. The former owner of medical marijuana dispensaries in several Michigan cities was sentenced Tuesday, January 28th, to nearly 16 years in federal prison.
Wow.
Danny Trevino, 47, of Lansing, who had Hydro World dispensaries in Grand Rapids, Flint, Jackson, Lansing, and elsewhere, had avoided state criminal and civil penalties over the years, but was convicted on multiple federal charges. And then the interesting point to all this was that apparently because he had prior convictions that were felonious, he was able to be a patient, like a medical marijuana patient, but he was not qualified to own and operate a marijuana business, which is weird. And he was also, this was another thing too, he was also allowed to cultivate up to 12 plants, kind of like here.
Oh, that's whatever.
That's the thing, is like, why would you allow, he's allowed to be a consumer, but not a distributor?
Yeah.
But anyway, the judge is kind of being a hard ass and enforcing this stupid.
Oh, well, what's weird here is I know people that have criminal records that definitely work or run marijuana dispensaries.
Yeah, or grows.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Grows, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how each state kind of they kind of translate what they will.
I think they'll make exceptions. I think it depends on what kind of charges they have.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly hope this dude doesn't get stiffed like that, because that's pretty fucking low. I mean, you're ruining an entire guy's
what do you
life.
want, dude? It's Michigan, man. What do you want?
I don't know.
What do you want from Michigan?
A lot, dude. I love Michigan. It's a great state. My mom's from Michigan, dude.
Great. I'm not saying it's a great state.
I just expect more out of them.
It's great.
Now, Ohio, on the other hand, don't get me started on that. Fucking. No, I could give a fuck about all that.
Look, if you want to live there, but I ain't recommending it.
Wouldn't recommend it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So since we were talking about this yesterday, I popped over to the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment over here because I needed verification. I know that our state had just tested a third patient for coronavirus, but it was negative.
Right.
I misread the article and I thought there were 2 confirmed cases here, but it turns out Colorado's still at a goose egg here. So we're still in the clear, but I don't know, still a very scary and developing situation in this world of mine.
Let's go. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's.
Yes.
No, I just think it could have been stopped.
Well, yeah, but like you were saying before, considering how China's government operates, it's not gonna. No one wants the weight of a pandemic to fall on their shoulders.
But now it has because Right.
Nobody wanted to be accountable.
No one wants to say, hey, this could be bad. Now they're trying to make hospitals in fucking 10 hours or some shit from scratch.
I think it was 2 hospitals in 6 days.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because the other night I was just scrolling around on 4chan as I do in the wee hours of the night, but there was like a whole raid on the live streams of the hospitals being built. It was just some of the worst shit you've ever seen being put into these comments.
Oh yeah.
And there were several arguments going on, and people were trying to get their messages of hate typed out fast enough because the chat bar was was just going at a crazy rate. You couldn't even read a whole sentence. But it was hilarious. But did you also see how they're price gouging masks and things like that?
Yeah, in China?
In China and in Canada. I saw this post and it was in I think it was in Toronto, but somebody was in kind of the equivalent of a Walgreens, and all the masks and shit like that, just your silly little the ones you would normally wear if you had a cold or something, 45 to 50 bones for a box.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, that's just evil, man. Humanity just never ceases to amaze me when it comes to things like this.
It's a capitalist society.
Yeah, I mean,
that's basically it.
But Jesus Christ, how far are you really willing to go to just completely get rid of your integrity as a human?
Of course. Yeah, that's really a good question.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just you'd hope people do better. But if life was rosy and perfect all the time, then people like you and I wouldn't exist, and we wouldn't have the conversations and things like that we do.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I'll say this about the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Not really pertaining to that, but maybe I don't think it's going to be a bad, this massive outbreak. But
right.
I think everyone should have some, a couple gallons of water, maybe some food. No, just
a couple of gallons of water?
Yeah, in case. Nothing's probably going to happen. It's probably going to be fine.
But what is a couple of gallons of water going to do?
Well, you tell me. When the water's shut off?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
I'm going to shut your fucking water off right now. I'll tell you what 2 gallons means. About 1 piss for you, dude, when you flush the toilet.
I'm speaking I get what it's for and what its applications are, but I'm talking as far as longevity, what is a couple of gallons going to do?
It's to get you out of wherever you got to go.
So I can get up to your house?
Yes. You'll be fine there.
All right, we'll defend ourselves with piss condoms and Twinkies.
Ugh. I'm not exchanging Twinkies for piss condoms.
No. We'll use both this time.
No.
They will work together in tandem.
It's not a good deal either way.
Twinkie is tantamount to a Molotov. It sends a message.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, man, we gotta defend the estate. You really want all your fucking turkey eggs getting turkeyed off?
No, but I'm saying, it's not even for this one, but just have it on hand all the time. Have a couple gallons of water. Have some backup food,
Right on.
some stuff you can grab real quick, you know.
Have some MREs.
Yeah.
Which
First aid kit. Always have a first aid
Right.
kit. Even if you cut yourself really bad, you know, you might have to, you know, patch that up to get to the hospital.
Yeah,
I mean,
or like a tournament, things like that.
Oh, dude, if I cut myself or something, I like had to go to the hospital bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm waiting like 45 minutes, 50 minutes for an ambulance to get to my place.
Well, not to mention the possibility that like in a pandemic,
In
might
a
not even be
pandemic, that's it. You get there to my place, you quarantine. I have my own water, so yeah, I don't necessarily have to have water. Like,
well,
on
not
hand,
you.
but-
You actually, you'd be
Yeah,
fine. You have a
but-
pretty good setup there.
Yeah, we got a fireplace, got wood that burns forever,
Unlimited eggs.
unlimited chicken and eggs.
You got some cats that you probably could get rid of like one or two, and maybe on special occasions
No, I mean,
have a little cat leg for a birthday or something. Ain't gonna hurt nobody.
and there's constant wildlife up there.
Yeah, that would be the fun
There's
part.
deer that like live on my property.
The only thing that would suck dick though is just like I am not prepared to be cut off from the internet and like technology and things like that.
I hear you, but if there's not, so here's the thing: if everyone doesn't have the internet,
Yeah.
fine. But
guess-
if I'm like, you know, if people have internet somewhere else, then like, yeah, I get anxious about it. But no, I'm with you. You got it too, dog. I mean, we're on our phones all the time trying to check the internet out. We just
Right,
don't
well,
even
I mean-
realize it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like we've said this before. Like you're constantly reading, whether or not you realize it. I mean, whether or not it's anything of substance is of no
You're
consequence.
always
I
reading
think.
though.
But yeah, exactly. You're always reading. But my whole thing is like, I'm sure we're grown men. We would deal with it and we'd get by. But my whole thing is like, I'm so fascinated with how quickly technology it just expands and gets bigger, or it gets, I guess I should say, it gets smaller and better as time goes on. That like, oftentimes like you'll see in certain forums and shit like that, people always argue, oh man, wouldn't it be cool to live forever so you could see just how things turn out and shit like that. I would love to live forever based on that sole fact alone, that I want to see how humanity and technology eventually just coalesces. And I would also like to live to where like things are kind of like Deus Ex, where, instead of this microphone and this like soundboard and all of our stuff around us, like it would be cool if instead of it all being like outward like this and kind of being, it's taking up so much space. It'd be awesome if this entire command center was just implanted in our bodies, like little microphones in your vocal cords, and like you could transmit the episode like just through some weird Wi-Fi thing in your brain. Like I'd love to meld with technology.
That's a slippery slope.
Well, of course it is. I understand.
Because then the government has got a fucking Wi-Fi chip in you, dude. Well, they're gonna fucking Wi-Fi you up, dude.
Well,
that's it. They're gonna just, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy like guy here, but
no, Adam, go ahead.
That's where it's gonna lead. If we're at that point,
yeah,
then they might have the ability to like understand what you're thinking.
Right.
Thought police, dude.
Right, but think about this. For all of these security
saying.
concerns as far as your overall like privacy and just shit like that is concerned, there would still be the possibility of, you have to think about it this way. If you're implanted with something that has like it's essentially like having total recall, because you have quick access to the internet. And so basically let's say you're the only one that has these implants, and they do want to track you and they do want to like find you. You're going to be able to think so quickly ahead and be able to plan things so quickly ahead. I don't even think it would be an issue. And I mean, in reality, I guess if this did become a thing where like all these devices were implanted in you for convenience sake, let's say, everyone's going to have them. So, I mean, it's not really, would it be any different than like masking your computer with a VPN? You could just mask yourself with one, essentially. You could even, if you have, let's say your brain is the internet, you could even create your own VPN. You could create your own security for your own body and shit like that.
Yes. As a computer, you can do that. But then you're at a race, just like with, bullets versus bulletproofing.
Right.
It's going to be one, I got the best fucking blocker. And then the government comes out the next day with something that can get into it.
Yeah.
And then you're constantly trying to catch up. If you don't have the fucking thing in your head, If I know I can do it with a computer, I can fucking smash it and throw it out the fucking window or throw it into a fucking lake or something, dude.
I don't know what pictures you're talking about, officer.
I mean, I'd be happy to do that with you too, dude, but you know.
Fuck you.
I'm just saying, like,
That was a cheap shot.
yeah, you know, because if you have it in you, then you can't fucking dispose of it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But what you're saying is true. That is how it is gonna play out. You are
Right.
exactly right. That is how it's gonna play out. That is gonna become the norm. Just
Yeah.
as someone wears an Apple Watch or whatever.
Exactly. That was what I was
It's
going
the
to say
same
next.
thing.
We're already being
It's just
prepared.
a little bit more intimate. So yes, it will happen. I don't
Yeah.
want it to happen. I'm not gonna participate. I don't have a fucking Amazon fucking circle in my house.
Oh, no,
I
you don't want those.
I don't want to be talking around that stuff. I get it. People say, well, you got a fucking cell phone that can listen. You're right. I don't want more fucking angles. I don't want Amazon to be listening to me too.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Apple has a pretty good, I don't know. They're not as bad maybe as other like security type
Yeah, they're really
defenses
good to
are,
their
but-
employees too, I hear.
Yeah, I mean, Foxconn was great. They
They got all those cool hammocks like on the balconies
yeah,
of all
they
the,
had
all the buildings and
hammocks.
shit.
You could walk out the window
You can
and
literally
lay in a hammock.
Yeah, you can and you
What
can
are that? What kind of these?
you can just jump carefree into these hammocks.
Living the
and
life
rest.
of Riley.
Yeah, dude, geez. And we're over here having to do these long
Sunning
commutes.
themselves.
They get to live at
They're
work.
like, oh, yeah, yeah, exactly.
They don't even have to commute, Adam. These people, I don't know what they're complaining about, to be honest.
Yeah, you're 100%, dude. They don't have to commute. They can stay there all day.
They got
while they're
free
out there.
hammocks.
Free hammocks. Yeah.
A stable job. It's hard to find in this economy.
I mean, come on.
They got it made in the shade over there at Foxconn.
They're allowed to work 22 hours a day.
Are you serious?
I mean,
I could
they
really
just-
put a
I
dent
mean,
in some
you know
credit
how
card
much you could
bills.
You know how many bills you could pay?
Yeah.
Probably not many. I don't think they're making a lot of money.
I also hear that some of the employees, they relax so hard that they actually pass on to the next life.
They're so relaxed that they die.
Well, yeah, they find them in the hammocks, and they're like,
True.
"Oh man, look at all the rope burn. It looks like you've been laying here for a while."
Well, no. Well, they put the hammocks there because the previous employees were so happy
Yeah.
that they just wanted to shout from their floors. Like they wanted to yell to everybody outside the other windows.
What were they shouting?
No, they just wanted to, hey, I'm really happy working here. And a lot of them were accidentally falling out because of that. The windows and dying.
Oh well, thank God the
You
hammocks
know.
are there now.
Yeah, now they have the hammocks, so people will be like, yes, this is great. And then they're so happy, then they fall into these hammocks. They lay there and relax.
Lucky ducks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great setup they got going on there, apparently.
They're surrounded by Apple products.
Yeah, I mean,
Could
it's
you-
true.
That's just crazy.
We're not surrounded by Apple products. There's a couple.
Well, there's a few. Yeah, there's a few.
I guess technically we kind of are because, like, yeah.
I've got there's an Apple Watch that I never wear in that drawer right there.
Oh,
I
I
bought
believe
that.
we had that discussion a million times.
Whatever. It's cool.
I told you would never use it.
Yeah, and you were right. But it's still cool sometimes. I like to
No.
put it on every once in a while. I'll be like, ooh,
I see people with them. I'm like, you're never gonna use it. What? They have it on their fucking hands. It's just like another watch.
It's like a fucking.
Oh,
it's
I got a text message. I could
futuristic-
see my text message. I don't want to see my text messages.
No, you idiot! It's a fucking wrist communicator, like from the movies when you were a kid. It's like
not.
one of those devices
No.
that's in real life.
This is not a Dick Tracy fucking watch, dude.
It's even better.
Wrong.
It's even better. Dick Tracy didn't have fucking email. He didn't have SMS.
I feel like there was an SMS.
S&M.
No, there was an SMS like component to basically how he was communicating.
Whatever, dude.
So
You might as well have had a damn cup and some string. But no, the Apple Watch is a fine product. It's not that I just don't really like being over encumbered.
it's a fine product. What are you
So
talking about?
I wear it sometimes. But
It's
whatever.
a watch. It's an overpriced watch.
It's a computer. It's a wrist communicator.
It's a wrist computer. You're right. That just it does everything your phone does.
Yeah, exactly.
On
But
your,
I don't
but
have to
you
go
can't.
into my.
You can. You're gonna.
I don't have to go into my
Let me pull
pocket.
up my wrist. Tip, 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 tip. You can't type on that fucking
Yeah,
thing.
No, actually, you have to do a little drawing thing. You do the
No,
drawing. You draw the
no,
letter and
not
you spell
into
like
it.
that.
Not into it.
And you can answer calls on it. You're fucking communicating.
Oh, you can answer calls on it.
It's so tough, dude. You're just like
Jeez.
talking into your
Can you
wrist like
fucking
a badass.
imagine? Now you don't have to lift your hand to your face like you did with a phone.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you still have to lift your hand to your face. Grab your fucking phone.
Not as high. Less chance
We're
of
talking
communicating germs.
centimeters.
You know how dirty your pockets are? Every time you fucking lift that phone up to your ear, you're risking like pink eye every time. You got money and credit cards and all kinds of weird shit in your pocket. You've been digging in your ass. You go to touch your phone. I'm telling you, dude, that speaking into the watch is a little bit safer. In fact, I might start wearing it more often now. Now that I know you have a problem with it.
Ugh, fucking stupid.
Shut up, you're stupid.
Good one.
I didn't have anything
Cut
else.
me deep there.
Yeah, that's my bad. Award myself one of those today. All right. Oh yeah, and this week we've got a double feature again of Baloney Boys.
Baloney Boys.
That's right. This week we've got Mighty Ducks actor Shaun Weiss arrested.
Quack, quack.
That's right. So, actor Shaun Weiss has been charged with burglary and being under the influence of methamphetamine, police in Northern California say. And I'm going to tell you right now, dude, this guy ain't doing well.
He's not?
No, dude. Here, let me play this little news clip here.
Ducks actor Shaun Weiss is arrested for burglary and being under the influence of meth, and his mugshot is just stunning. Remember him? He played the
Not doing well.
Greg Goldberg in this hit franchise.
He looks 70.
Goldberg, do you trust me?
My mother would not approve of this, Coach. She'd like me to live to be bar mitzvahed.
This is your bar mitzvah, Goldberg. Today you will become a man.
I mean, he's just unrecognizable. Police say
dude.
he broke into someone's garage, shattered a car window, was sitting in the car when they found him. He's still in custody on a $25,000 bond. Back in 2018, he checked himself into rehab and promised fans that he would recover. CNN has reached out to see if Weiss has a lawyer.
Does he still
promised his fan?
Yeah, I mean, does he still have fans? But look at that. That's a stark comparison.
But even look.
Yeah, like a few years before this,
Yeah.
he was looking. I mean, the guy lost a ton of weight since he was in Mighty Ducks, but obviously,
oh boy, dude, how old is he? Look how old he is.
Let's see.
Is he like?
He's got to be
25.
Shut up. Let's see. If you're 47, then he has to be.
No, I'm gonna say he's 42.
41, dude.
Okay, there we go.
Not bad. But yeah, dude, he's not doing too well, and I'm gonna go ahead and venture.
He looks 60.
Oh yeah, easily.
I don't even say 60, maybe older than that.
It's not good.
Wow.
I think it's safe to say the Mighty Ducks money ran out.
Quack, quack, dude.
What's weird is like he must have been arrested fairly recently prior to this, because look at this. This mugshot right here looks fairly similar. That's got to be recent. Man, so that's kind of tough.
Fuck, dude.
It's just kind of weird because you hear this all the time. Like, this is one of those Hollywood cliches, like, oh, the child actor gone awry, and now he's on drugs and PUs and all kinds of bullshit.
I don't know. Yeah.
You'd think they'd learn by now that, like, this is a very real trap that you could fall into.
Yeah, you just don't know, man.
Fucking breaking into cars and doing meth and shit. Like, that's another thing that never really got me. Like, yeah, I fell for the whole alcohol thing, and like I was really into alcohol for a while. But but the thing is like I get that. I get the allure. I get, because it's so normalized and because it's so readily available, I get falling into like alcoholism easier than you would anything or another substance. But when you're looking at meth and PCP and crack and heroin, like things involving needles and shit, what clicks in your head after, like, before you had ever done anything like that in your life? What makes you think, oh shit, this might be the good time I was looking for?
I don't know, man.
Because it
Like,
starts with that first decision to do it. Like,
I think they're probably doing it for years.
You have to think that there's got to be.
I mean, you have to be doing that shit for decades or something, man.
I was gonna say, yeah, your face doesn't get.
It's
deformed
almost
like that overnight.
It's like, yo, that can't be the same person. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of looks like a young Bobby Bacala in Mighty Ducks, but now he looks very. I don't know. I guess like decrepit.
Goldberg, dude.
He fucking Goldberg himself. He looks really rough, man. He looks like one of those dudes you see getting shot in the head, like in one of those ISIS propaganda videos. It's always like those disheveled guys.
Oh yeah. I mean, he does not. He looks dusty, man.
Yeah, he ain't doing well.
Yeah.
So the second baloney boy is actually another baloney girl, but on MSNBC shortly after they announced Kobe Bryant's death. Bless up, Kobe Bryant. Bless up to the Bryant family. But this bitch, I forgot her name. I'm gonna have to see if I can find her name real quick. But I guess she was talking about the Lakers on a broadcast and whatever. But she slipped up when she went to save the Lakers, and she said what sounds to be the N-word.
Oh no! What?
Yeah. So let's hear this.
Was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers computer. If I could.
She slipped up.
Oh,
she slipped
boy.
up hard. Let's listen to that again.
That is not good.
Was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers computer. If I could ask you to stay with us, we're gonna go.
That is not convincing that she said something else.
No, not at all. And a lot of people were speculating, like, oh, did she mean to say the Knicks or something like that? But it's like
I mean, I don't know. It didn't sound like it.
It wasn't good. And I'm trying to find the chick's name. Allison Morris. Yeah, Allison Morris covered Kobe Bryant's death on Sunday. During one segment, she appears to stumble in pronouncing Lakers. Instead, she uttered a word that began with N and sounded like a racial slur. Some viewers...
I would say so, yeah.
I mean...
It didn't sound like anything else.
I was going to say, I don't think it sounded like anything. It sounded... She said that, but...
It sounded like that.
Some viewers took to Twitter and accused Morris of uttering the N-word. But Morris apologized for stuttering, saying she pronounced Nakers. That didn't sound like Nakers.
It did not. No.
It still doesn't sound like she meant to say came out, but
I don't think it was like, she's some closet white supremacist or like something like that. Like,
well, no, if you look at the chick, she looks like, yeah, there she is. She looks like a regular ass, progressive woman. She's got that fucking high and tight, weird hairdo. She looks like she should be sitting at the Golden Globes with Ellen.
Yeah.
She's got that fucking...
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even know what to call that haircut. It's a very strong swoop over.
What's a bouffant?
A bouffant?
Is that maybe a bouffant?
I don't know. How do you spell bouffant?
I don't know. B-O-U...
Hold on, I got it. Oh yeah, it was kind of a bouffant.
Bouffant. Look it up.
Oh, that's like the type of shit like when I see pictures of my grandparents when they're much younger, they all have hair like this.
Bouffants, dude.
I like that name, Bouffant. You think I would look cool with a Bouffant? I could trade this wig in for a more updated do.
Yeah.
I'd
say it wouldn't hurt you. Why
don't you just shut your stupid mouth? How about that? What? Give me that bullshit, dude. Man, I fucking a couple of days ago, I got just ass slammed with depression the first thing in the morning when I woke up. And I've already described how I like my mornings to go. I like to wake up and have a coffee, maybe a coffee shit, have a cigarette.
Gotta have a coffee shit.
Yeah, and normally I just start, I'll go into here and I'll start reading the news and getting shit together for the show throughout the week. But no, dude, I wake up and I feel like there's a fucking cinder block on my chest, And I'm like, oh God, here we go. Because you're going to drag it through all day long. But do you ever get hit with that sometimes? Like where you wake up, it's just uncontrollable. You just feel like depression. Or is that not something you pay any mind to? I see you over there thinking pensively.
I don't know. I mean, no, not like gagoosh. I mean, whatever. You have your good days and you have your bad days.
Right. So basically, like, what I'm getting at is, normally I like to keep that shit to myself and kind of work through it as the day progresses, or like, I'll eat more edibles than I normally would to kind of compensate.
I don't know if that would help.
Well, it makes things a little goofier sometimes. So like, whatever. It puts me in a more, I'm in more of a jovial disposition.
I get it.
But, so I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do about this? And like, I rarely ever do this, but like, I take to social media and I make a post about it. I'm like, oh, feeling shitty, like underachievement, all this other bullshit, in a nutshell, which immediately I feel like douchey for.
Boy.
But then a bunch of people started responding to it and like saying that like they were either having that same kind of a bad day or like they had a shitty day like that the day before, and it was all this like, oh, I hope you're doing all right and shit like that. It was like a bunch of my friends like supporting me and shit, but I immediately felt like super guilty for some reason. Like I
think
felt,
you should.
Well, I felt guilty.
I think you should. You should feel fucking guilty.
I felt guilty because
don't
I
be
felt
putting that on other people.
Exactly, but that's what basically like what I arrived upon that kind of made me feel a little bit better about it was, all right, if you look at it from a standpoint of we're all kind of going through the fucked up life that we were given and all the troubles and shit like that, we're all kind of hurting at the same time, essentially. I was like, all right, that's all happening. It made me realize like, okay, I'm not in this alone, but whatever. But dude, you're right. From now on, I just want to keep that shit bottled up because I wasn't prepared for like the feeling of overwhelming guilt for expressing my depression or some shit like that.
I mean, look, dog, what do you want from me, man? I'm going to tell you the same thing.
Well,
I don't give a fucking turkey, dog.
But that's why I like to run these things by you.
If you're putting it out there, I don't want to know. And we're best friends. I don't want to know.
You don't want to know when I'm having a depressed day?
No. I don't want. I do personally want to know.
Are you sure
I
about
don't
that?
want to think. I don't want to fucking have you putting it on social media like that gives a turkey.
Right.
That's fucking gay, dude.
Yeah. It was a gay move.
Man.
Well, dude,
we have to edit that out.
No, we won't. What for saying? It's not like you slipped up like I did a couple weeks ago.
No, I don't mean it's like gay homosexual.
Right. Well, of course, I know what you meant. I think you have to explain that.
All right.
Adam doesn't want to get canceled this early into his career. He's gonna get doxxed online.
Yeah, I would like to know personally, like if you could come to, you can come to me and tell me that. But if you're posting it on social media, come on.
Yeah.
You're on a fishing expedition.
Well, not subconsciously, maybe.
I'm not even saying consciously. Yeah, exactly.
I was not on a fishing expedition, but I wanted to reach out to a world I felt isolated from. And I got a lot of
very computery, dude. This is very computery.
I know. It's
that's all I'm saying.
I'm never proud of it, and I don't have the best track record as far as like, what would you call it? My social media accounts. If you look back, in days past, like we've read a couple of my like cringy tweets and shit like that. I don't have a good track record as far as like, social media is concerned. Usually, I'm being an edgelord or I'm being like. I guess nihilistic in my ways.
Those are one and the same.
Or I guess the opposite side of the coin would be like ultra positive and shit. Like that super positive one I read out that sounded super douchey.
Which one?
Well, they're all fucking. It's hard to single one out, but the one that
Which one today?
I didn't post any today.
Oh, I couldn't single it out by that either.
Yeah, well, I'm staying the fuck off of it for a while. I'm not messing with it.
No, you're fine. I mean, do what you want to do. I'm
fine.
I can't.
Trying to build me up.
I can't be over here trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying, if it was me, I don't want to put.
Adam wants me to relapse.
No.
Try the wine.
Speaking of
Try the wine.
This fucking dirtbag came into the store last week. And this is one of those, he's just one of my few problem customers. So the guy comes in.
What do you mean by a problem customer?
So a problem customer can be broken down into a couple of criteria.
Okay.
There are the customers who come in and they're very overly direct, and they're the guys that always throw their money or their change on the counter. They never hand it to you like a human. There are the others who just take up your time with a lot of nonsense questions, and then they always buy like just the cheapest thing they can possibly buy, and they usually pay for it in like half cash or half change, or they'll be like, "Oh, I got $3 on my card. Can I give you $5 here? Pay the $3 on my card." I'm like, "We got a $5 limit on the cards," and they're like, "Well, that's bunk." I'm like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you." There's those guys. So there's a number of these people. There's also my least favorite are the shaky alcoholics who leave bottles in the parking lot because they can't wait.
Wait.
I've told you this before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You say you always find bottles like
constantly, dude. Like the guy in the Jeep. He tanked like 4 double shots of vodka and dropped them out of his window. And when I called him on it, he had the balls to look me in the eyes and say, "That wasn't me." I was standing right there, dude. Like, and I'm saying I was standing from about like the distance of my bedroom door to where you are, roughly 6-7 feet. I saw you, dude.
Right.
I fucking saw the entire. I can smell the whiskey on I can smell the vodka on your breath as you're telling me it's not you. And then that brings me to my last customer, the undesirable, already drunk, so you have to make that call customer.
Oh, wow. It's that far.
Right.
It's
where they're...
What are we going to do about this?
Exactly. Wow. So you have to make a decision. And it's like,
Damn.
Is this guy competent enough to where, like, it's okay to sell him this? Or it's like, some of them lean in over the counter, like way too close, and you can just smell alcohol. But they're conducting themselves as normal human beings. So it's really tough because you have to make that call. Like, if I don't want to serve them, then I got to be prepared to really just get into some shit. Because not once has any customer I've ever refused to serve ever been okay about it. Because if I refuse to serve you, chances are you're fucking blistered. And if I think you're drunk, you're fucking drunk, dude. And they always fight back.
Drunk. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the husband and wife who came storming in, like when I first started working there? It was a sketchy day. It was one of the first times I was working alone, and it was really early in the morning. I had just opened. It had to have been like maybe 10 or 11, but I'm just getting all the shit counted and like everything's good with the registers, and like I literally had been standing behind the register for maybe 2 minutes. Everything had just gotten done. This dude comes busting through the door and he's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" Just being like super drunk loud, and I'm like, "Dude, it's not even fucking noon." And then the wife comes in behind him, and she doesn't sound any better off. And she's like, "You fucking son of a bitch, I thought I told you. We're done drinking. We're quitting together." And it's like, she's blistered too. So he comes up to the counter, and he's got a big fat handle of fucking Captain Morgan in his hand. He's like, "This ought to get me through the day." And he's laughing and shit like that. And she basically threatens me. She leans over the counter, and she puts her finger in my face. She goes, "If you sell that to him, I'm calling the law." I was like, "If you guys don't get out of my store right now, I'm going to call the police." And they were like, "I'll call the police if you sell that to him." I was like, "No, I'm telling you, I'm going to call the police if you don't leave now." And so they left and everything. But I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And like, there were people starting to come into the store and shit like that. And it's like, you can't be disturbing the peace like that. I like to run a tight ship, you know?
Sure. You can't be having that kind of stuff, dude.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I hate the guys who always try to barter with you too. Like the bums come in and they want like...
There's bartering going on?
They try. I mean, obviously we don't barter.
Right, you don't barter, but there's attempts.
There's attempps.
At
multiple times every day.
That's ridiculous.
There's this one guy, he comes in and he always gets like a half pint of some like trash liquor. But he always pays in like, he'll have like $1 bill on him, and then the rest is going to be pennies, nickels, dimes, and if you're lucky, some quarters. But he was 40 cents short, and he had literally like $4.50 on the counter, all in pennies, dimes, and nickels, and a couple of quarters. And he's like, "Well, you got me on the 40 cents?" I'm like, "No, I don't got you on the 40 cents. I was like, "Do you have 40 cents? Yeah, well, what is this?" What is this?
It's not a charity, I'll tell you that.
And I'm not going to sit over here and play God or anything like that because, like I said before, I enjoyed my drink. But did I ever once make that somebody else's problem? Like, was I ever like,
did you ever say, you got covered by that? You got me on that 40 cents? I've never heard you say that in your fucking life.
Have I ever showed up on your doorstep, shaking, needing 40 cents for a drink?
No.
Thank you. But yeah, this dude, it never fails. At least once a week, he comes in.
Oh,
he's
my
short.
God, dude.
Hey, man, you got me on that. And then he like wanted to talk shit. I was like, no, I don't have you on 40 cents, dude. Can you please just get something cheaper? Or like, because I don't know what to tell this guy at this point. It's like, I've already told you I'm not going to fucking cover it. So then he's like, it's fucking bullshit. And I'm like, what, that you don't have money? What have you been doing all day?
Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
You're not going to give me 40 cents to buy my liquor?
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm over here like, yeah, this is bullshit, dude. Like, you don't understand. You're the fucking problem.
like, exactly.
You
You are the bullshit.
Yeah. Just a stupid dunce walking around with his stupid change purse. God damn it, dude. I hope he gets hit by a bus. He's fucking horrible.
Well, they're having RTD issues here, so there's odds are that you won't get hit by a bus.
God, dude. I mean, I wouldn't mind
keeping it local with that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind getting popped by one of these city buses, dude.
Oh,
if I like didn't get super fucked up, get me a settlement.
You can't guarantee that.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying it wouldn't be so bad.
Everyone would feel the same. Oh, if I could like get hit by a bus and sue them, if I just got a little fucked up and get everyone would feel the same.
I'm saying maybe sometime in the summer, whenever you and I are. That's usually when we go to the most comedy shows.
That is Comedy Works.
It's
season.
Prime. Yeah, it's prime season for some stand-up.
Not to say we haven't gone out there when it's been cold out.
Oh yeah. No, if you're a draw, we're probably gonna go see you.
Oh, if there's someone we want to see,
yeah,
we'll go see him.
But I'm just saying, hypothetically, maybe one of these weekends when I'm going down there and meeting you at the office, maybe when I'm running to catch the mall ride, that little trolley that goes up and down 16th there.
Oh, they'll run over and make sure you're dead.
Well, maybe.
Those drivers are fucking mentally.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe
deranged.
I just put my foot under a tire or something. Maybe I just take one in the foot.
If you take one in the foot, your foot will be destroyed.
But is it?
It's going to
really
be destroyed.
I mean, dude, you can 3D print a foot.
They can't do that yet.
Do I really need a foot? What am I doing?
You might want a foot.
I play a lot of video games, dude.
But you need to go to the bathroom. So you got to get up. Well, maybe you don't have to get up.
Well, maybe they hit me so hard. I was going to say, maybe they hit me so hard I'm shitting in a bag for the rest of my life. Hold on, folks. I got to keep pausing in the middle of an episode to empty my shit bag on the side.
Yeah, you put your foot out to get run over. Get sucked up into the actual wheel well. You just rips your leg off from the knee down.
Yeah, you just see my stupid fucking curly hair flying out from the side.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Well, you tried.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I mean, dude, I don't know. I'm just sick of the grind of life. I'm over it. I've been working, dude, I was trying to it's another thing that makes me feel guilty sometimes is I'm always oh man, I'm fucking tired. I don't want to go to work. And it's not like I have a shitty work ethic. I've just been working for so long. I've been working fairly steadily since I was 9. Cleaning nightclubs and horse shit on the weekends and stuff like that, which granted was 2 days out of the week, but still when you're a kid and that 2 days is Saturday and Sunday, and then all the rest of your time is full of school, you're basically working all the time. You're always occupied. You're not taking much time for yourself.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then I've consistently held jobs since, God, I probably stopped working at the nightclubs around time I was 13 or 14, and then by then I worked at Chick-fil-A, and we all know how I acted over there. I wasn't a very good
gentleman.
Well, yeah.
I believe the answer was, right?
I appreciate that, but no, I was a scallywag.
Well, I am aware.
Yeah, I had a problem over there, but I digress. I'm in my 30s and I'm fuck, dude, I'm already tired. I don't want to have to wake up and go do bullshit. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that about my job now, because my job now is very easy. I like most of the people that come into the store. I like everybody I work with and shit. But there's just something about the daily routine and the daily grind and the repetitiveness of life, that monotony, that
the Groundhog's Day of life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I say all the time that, like, you know, the show's an outlet and stuff like that, but I would love to eventually work less, do more shows, but then on that side of the coin, I know how things can get whenever they become monotonous or they become too frequent in life. And I'm afraid that, like, oh man, what if we start doing more shows and then we just like burn out on that? Which I don't think we would, because we have so much fun doing it. But like, it's
a valid concern. It's with everything in life.
Yeah.
You know,
you just always, I'm always afraid that like the monotony will breed contempt, and then all these other bullshit problems that life can throw at you will follow.
No, I get it, dude.
It's whack. I'm
and
tired.
Everyone thinks of that. Everyone's tired, dude. Everyone's tired.
I think everybody needs to start their own podcast and start bitching about it.
That might help out.
Got to make some change. But I see no changes. Fucking whatever, dude. Don't fucking let me sit there in silence, you piece of shit.
What else am I gonna do? I don't have access to a soundboard.
That's true. Well, I'll get you one eventually. But
you don't need to.
I've been making
probably like an iPad I could set up.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have an iPad, but
I do. I really, I'm sure we could figure something out as far as that's concerned.
I mean, whatever. I don't care.
This is for after the show.
Yeah.
You over here bringing up your concerns.
Well,
I just completed the task that was bestowed upon me last week. Adam's got more room in his station now because he's freakishly tall. He thinks that he's just tall and it's not a problem.
I'm average.
You're not average.
What is everyone else doing?
You're not average, dude.
Most people I come across are below average height.
You're right. You're uncomfortably tall.
No.
You make other people uneasy in public when you're around.
No.
Yes. Adam can't ride rides. He can't do shit. He can probably dunk.
I can dunk.
I cannot dunk. I can barely touch the net.
Yeah, but I would say even people my height might have a difficulty dunking, but yes, I can dunk.
Yeah, I believe it.
I could. I even played basketball in fucking 10 years, dude.
Yeah, basketball.
I'm not even saying, I'm just saying recreationally I haven't played in 10 years.
Yeah. No, I haven't played basketball or ran or shot a basketball probably in like...
We've been frizzing for quite some time.
Yeah, well, we frizz, but throwing the frisbee, you can do a lot of different shit. You can like have a cigarette in your other hand.
Oh, right. You can't do that with a basketball, so frizz is more efficient.
Could you imagine just like a bunch of basketball players fucking smoking, giving each other cigarette burns and shit?
Yeah. So
in frisbee, if you're good enough, if you can aim well enough, then like both parties don't have to move really at all. You can just stay stationary.
Yeah. We've had our hot and cold streaks on that, but
that's true. We've gone through a few frisbees over the past 5 years. I'd say 5 years when we started playing.
Yeah.
Remember how many times we used to have to go up on the roof at the old house? You and I had a fucking system worked out. Adam would cup his hands, and I would put my foot in one of his hands, God damn it, I can't speak. I would put my foot into his hand, and he would like hoist me up super fast. We had a fucking system, dude, because I would like run up, you would push me up, and then I would basically just like use that momentum to throw myself on the roof.
Yeah, then you just get up there and grab it.
Dude, do you remember how bad I got sunburned that one time? We were so drunk, and like I wasn't paying attention at all. It was like fucking 98 outside. I had no shirt, and we're in Colorado, so like the
sun
it's so fucking bad.
It's scorching.
And I was just drinking straight whiskey out of a cup.
That was your more civilized days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we used to actually use a cup. But we were throwing the frisbee for like 4 or 5 hours, and the neighbors were rotating. Like different neighbors were coming over and fucking around with us, and
Zeb and stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone was coming by.
Zeb didn't throw no frisbee though.
No, he drew the line there, man.
He was a brooding man. I know I give you a lot of shit for like brooding or being like pensive and whatnot, but that cat, he was the brood master.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
The way he used to like talk about getting chicks and shit too. I wanted to describe him, but like there's just all right. So Zeb was a slightly overweight gothic gentleman that had an industrial band, which his music was cool. I liked his shit. He was a good musician and also an overall cool guy. I'm not saying anything bad about him.
The dude was cool as fuck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything bad about him as a person, but just when you first see him, you're a little taken back by his appearance. And so you would be inclined to believe that females don't generally pay him a lot of attention. However, he would have you believe the exact opposite.
Right.
And he would always say shit like, he'd be like, yeah, man, sometimes when I'm on stage, I flip my hair back, and no matter who's standing out there, just the first girl I see, I just stare them in the eyes, and then I start going into the solo. I'm like, is this real? Is this like a reality?
Yeah,
like, this is what you're actually doing?
Record scratch.
It's like, yeah, you're gonna get fucking me too, dude. Like, if I were ever to get on a stage again and do anything musically, everybody would think I was half a Ricky Martin because I'd only be singing to men. That's it. I'm not taking my chances out in this world. And that's another thing too, is like, I've decided I'm not gonna like be very outward and like pursue other people and shit like that. Not just because of the political climate, but like, I've been single for like a year now, and I'm in a good place as far as like what I want now. And it's like,
oh yeah,
I'm just not gonna go out of my way to fucking like settle for anything less than like what I want.
Than Ricky Martin.
Yeah, exactly. Dude,
Okay.
Are you kidding me? If Ricky Martin wanted to have some kind of like, we could talk. He's all right. And that money too. Fuck getting hit by the bus. He's probably still holding up all right financially.
He's probably got 5,000-10,000 in the bank.
Yeah, I'll give him a couple of smooches, have him pay off my student debt. Be all right, whatever. I'm not too proud to enter into some kind of agreement like that if there's a good amount of money involved.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Well, on that note, I think we should probably go ahead and get the fuck out of here before I say anything else I'm going to regret.
It's too late.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for joining us for another installment of the Brass Tacks Podcast. It's been a pleasure. Make sure you like and follow us on all of our social media. We're at The Real Brass Tacks on Instagram. Facebook fan page is Brass Tacks Podcast. I started a Twitter. It's Brass Tacks Pod. All that shit. If you have any suggestions or anything you might want us to cover on the show, then send suggestions to therealbrasstacks@gmail.com. And make sure you go and check out our friends over at the Vulgarians podcast. One of their hosts, Eric, is going to be joining us next week for an episode. And we will also be doing an episode of his show. So be on the lookout for that. Get hyped up. And until then, go fuck your mother.
So, I've really been trying to think about eating ass. I don't know. It's dangerous.